with Simone Biles. He didn't know who Simone Biles was. He was 3 years into his football contract and he wasn't trying to get tied down with nobody. And you see her in there giggling and laughing. I mean, we have been her, so don't nobody try to put her down because she don't know. You know, she didn't have a black mother or grandmother that could tell her. You know, you can see her dad, her dad is grandfather who adopted her, who he's married to. So she didn't have any guidance. She didn't have anybody. Her black mother wasn't there in order to teach her about these legacies of low achievement. So we can't really blame her. Plus, she grew up in a white world of gymnastics and seeing these white girls meeting guys and getting married, and she wanted to do the same thing. And you can't blame her for wanting it. And when I looked at him and having not known anything about him, when she first married him, I got concerned because I was like, I hope he's not one of them niggas. And guess what? He one of them niggas. It just reminds you so much of the whole Keke Palmer thing where you got some beautiful dynamic woman and she's really trying to work hard to build up a man and she wants to be married. And, you know, and just if you look back at the, you know, hit the video and look at it and you will just see how everything he did to minimize her. He didn't even think she was attractive whenever he first saw her picture. So basically, let me tell you what happened is he was sitting around with these other professional football players. It was going into COVID. They didn't have access to all of the NFL and NBA hosts. And so they got online to try to find women. And so they went on this celebrity website where you could get, you know, women that were, you know, of a higher income level. And it sounds like a celebrity website. So they get onto the celebrity website. And so the football players are sitting around there probably drinking and looking at that because they couldn't get no women because of COVID. And look, man, Simone Biles, that's the girl from the Olympics. That's the girl from the Olympics. So they do a competition to see who could get him. And he must have been the cutest one out all up with his light colored eyes. And so they all went chasing to see a game to see who they could get. And then he had such a good catch. And he was thinking about the bag and thinking about how short an NFL career is and how they always end up broke as a rule. And he's like, you know what? I better latch on to this. So he got her to be able to rest in his femininity so he would never have to worry about finances because you know good and well they didn't get no prenup because she's all starry-eyed and white gymnastics black girl out that she thinks that somebody's going to get her and treat her the way her black grandfather treated his non-black wife, who I'm sure a lot of times, you know, when they get those wives from certain countries that they wash their feet and scrub their behind and everything else. And so the men, yeah, they do be committed to a woman. Now, I don't know if they committed to.
Now, how would you play it? How would
Do you really want to know what I think? Or are you going to tell me that I'm overthinking when I tell you what I'm about to say? Listen, there were some people that were mad at him because he said he feels like he's a prize. I don't have no problem with a man feeling like he's a prize, to keep it a buck with you. There were some people mad because she wrote him first. Why is she chasing after him? I ain't got no problem with that either because if you see something you want, this shit, go after it. I ain't got no problem with that. None of that shit was my problem. But here's lock in. It was the way he was trying to play Cool Joe, like downplay the situation. I didn't even know who she was for real. I'm gonna be honest with you. Shit, she the one that wrote me first. Shit, she the one who drove 45 minutes to see me. You get what I'm saying? Now listen, there was no reason at all to throw any of the little. What are we gonna do with those details? What are we gonna do with those details? If I was in his situation and that's how I met my girl, this how somebody asked me, I'll be like, hey, without even thinking, just subconsciously, I would be like, hey, we met on a dating app, we started talking to each other, and we started hanging out. But the reason why he threw in, she wrote me first. I didn't even know who she was. She drove 45. When people start adding in small details like that, you gotta fucking pay attention. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad person, but I know. Some of y'all gonna think I'm overthinking. But that's okay. We don't always have to agree. There's people that I follow here that I don't always agree with. But anyway, when people start adding in small details like that, it's because they want you to know, like, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Don't ever think. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Do you really want to know what I think? Or are you going to tell me that I'm overthinking when I tell you?
You were cool with playing the crackhead? You was cool with that?
Yeah. I based that character on my brother. That's what because my brother used to be a crackhead. So that's
Cubans. Where are you? Are the Cubans?
And white women are like heroes. You never been in a group.
Simone Biles' husband set the internet on fire after saying in an interview that he did not know who Simone Biles was. He goes on to offer details about how she drove 45 minutes to see him and that he feels like he is the catch in this relationship. See, to me, the disrespect is in the details. Did we really need to know that she drove 45 minutes to come to see him? Why was that information necessary? The other piece of information that I don't feel that he needed to let us know was the fact that he did not know who she was. Why that detail is important. See, the strategy we're all missing is that in a room full of boys, he needs to feel important. This guy lacks self-confidence, and the only way he can get it is by putting someone else down. He's a pretty boy that looks at himself in the mirror, but he knows there's nothing in there after he looks at his own image. And unfortunately, she's downplaying this behavior, but I have news for you. When a man tells you who he is, you need to believe him. And those are really big red flags. The only positive thing that can come out of this story is that it's a great PR news because guess what? We all had to Google his name. Simone Biles' husband just set the internet on fire after saying in an interview that he did not know who Simone Biles was. He goes on to walk.
You know who would never get on the podcast, Mike, and embarrass they fucking wife? This man right here. They would have been like, you know who Sierra is? Oh yeah, me and my sister used to have 1-2-step routines. I love Sierra.
I didn't know who she was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she got to be good.
Y'all remember that series, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie and all that bad shit happened because you gave a mouse a cookie? If you give a man a podcast, Mike, you don't know who Simone Biles is.
If you give a man a podcast, Mike.
Simone Biles.
Really the catch in.
I always say we the men that catch, man. I always say we the catch.
When that Goodies video came out, I was like, yeah, I used to dance in my room to her music. I used to get ready to game. If you give a man in a relationship that feels like he's less than his girlfriend or wife, podcast, Mike, this is what happens. It's like, I'm the fucking catch. It's like, I'm the fucking catch. Simone Biles, height, age, net worth, achievements, husband. What's your favorite song when you prepping for the game, Russ? Like a Boy. I love Like a Boy. Bitch, go eat some Simone Biles cereal. Do you have some cereal? I don't fucking think so. Everybody in that room knew you was fucking capping. Everybody in that fucking room knew you was capping. Everybody in that room knew you should shut the fuck up. Do he even have any fucking partnerships? Is he even have Fashion Nova Mail? Like, what the fuck? Do bro like that? Daily Mail. Simone Biles, NFL husband. They let you keep going. You wanna know why? Because they knew they was gonna get views off this shit. They knew this was gonna be some fucking clickbait. They knew these fucking clicks was about to go the fuck off and they was about to get paid off your dumb ass being fucking stupid. Sierra's so talented. My wife got an album coming out September 23rd. She has an angelic voice.
Even with that,
Every time I see a homeless person,
she's a big advocate in the mental health space.
Mm-hmm.
How does she help you with those challenges of being a pro NFL player? A lot of ups and downs,
Man.
maybe not having the confidence that you talked about.
I'm glad you brought that up, man. Me and her, man, we had a conversation before the first game. Like maybe because we get that break before, right out of camp, you get that weekend.
Shut the fuck
every
up.
time I see a homeless person, they got a dog. Y'all investing in the wrong roof. Every time I see a homeless person, they got a dog.
I have to laugh. Simone Biles' husband, Jonathan Owens, that's his name because y'all know we didn't know it. That's you? Low key, I be hoping that people from the other nations fall when they be doing gymnastics. LOL. 8/2/12. 2012. I've never really watched gymnastics. There's no way you never really watched.
She was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was
Red flag.
a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay.
If this is not a red flag, what is it? If this is not gaslighting, what is it that Simone Biles' husband is doing right here? Now, I may take some time today and just kind of break this down because I want you guys to look at, this is Simone Biles' husband. I don't know who he is. I think he's a football player. I know he's a football player, but I don't know what team he plays for.
Okay. I'm switching over to my YouTube channel platform. I'm no longer going to stream on Plenty of Fish. I mean, I will the next few times, but at the same time, I'm already going to be streaming the same thing. Like right now, I'm streaming on YouTube at the same time. I have 0 viewers. But eventually, I just do not want to be on Plenty of Fish. I'm just going to go straight to YouTube. All right, thank you. Bye. My name is Naya Notions, and let me see here. I don't know what. Naya Notions at Naya Notions. Just look me up on YouTube. I gotta go. Actually, I'm going to cut the stream here. Okay, but I am going to still keep streaming on Plenty of Fish just to tell you how to go to the other stream, Nine Notions on YouTube, because I do not want to be on a dating platform anymore. It was already time for me to move on, and I hadn't done it, and I'm doing it right now. I'm moving platforms. Está hablando con mi transmisión en vivo. Les estoy explicando que ya no va a estar en Plenty of Fish. No, fish anymore. I'm switching. Okay. I don't know why they had to open up a new Chrome page, but I'm streaming back and forth.
Movie Gaslighting. You need to go back and look at it. You can watch it on YouTube. It's free. And it's 2 versions of it. One, I think it came out, well, it did come out in the 40s. They put it out twice. It was such a good movie. And it had been a play. In the movie Gaslighting, a woman is married to a man who is trying to drive her crazy so he can steal her money, basically. He's just using her for money. And so he minimizes everything that she says and makes her think that she's crazy. I'm not going to run the movie for you. You need to go and watch it. But one of these things that he does is that she spends all day long getting dressed to go to this operatic performance, a piano performance, I believe it was. And she's dressing up, and she has got somebody helping her get dressed, the servants are helping her get dressed. And he walks in and looks at her and goes, "Oh, what a pretty purse." This man didn't know who Simone Biles was. Now, he looks at her on a celebrity dating site, and he didn't look at her and say, "Wow, I just thought she just had the most beautiful eyes," or "I just thought she had the most beautiful smile. That's what I was waiting." He said he looked and saw she had a bunch of followers. And so he knew.
Because he's a puta and doesn't know how to appreciate a queen like Simone Biles. I fucking hate people. The audacity of people. The audacity. Like, this is, you're with the queen, dude. Like, you should be like kissing her fucking feet. Who the fuck are you, you know? A heartless motherfucker talking about her this way. All right. Welcome to my channel. I'm introducing myself, even though I have no viewers. I am practicing on the YouTube channel. Naya Notions at Naya Notions 6547. I do not know why it says 6547. That's just some random shit. I don't remember putting that. Anyway, I'm gonna switch over to, or I should just switch. And you know what? That's how we're gonna do.
Be the movie whenever the Lifetime movie comes out. That's gonna be the red flag, and all of y'all gonna be saying, "But she got a husband." Of course, they try to snatch up the most dynamic young women so they can ride their coattails. He knows how long does he have in the NFL, and who is he in the NFL? And she's a complete GOAT, greatest of all times. But he says that he's surprised. Look at this video. Go back and look at the whole video, and look at the one that I did before this. He didn't have anything nice to say about her. The other thing is he made it clear to let us know that she chased him down. Yeah. So whenever this ends the way that, as soon as we start getting married, a lot of us older black women were like, "Oh," because we know how it's going to end. And when it ends that way, people are going to be like, "Well, I knew it would," but nobody's making videos about it. Okay, maybe 2 of us are making videos about it. Maybe one of us got online and said something about, "Well, why is she getting married right now at this point in her life? She's still competing. Why come they can't just say, why does he have to tie her down with a ring?" And then pretty soon, he's going to put a baby on her. And then y'all know what's going to happen then.
She was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch
Hell
of
no.
The moment, honestly, don't get into no long shit, bro. I gotta ask you, man. God damn, y'all boys scared. Bro, as us pretty red dimes as we are, how in the hell did you pull Simone Biles? And I love this football talk, bro. I gotta get to it. I'm over here rubbing my knees.
Hey, Chad, I wanted to tell him, he's talking about being looked over. Now when the right people look at you. You know what I'm saying?
How did you do that, bro?
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man. That's the question.
Oh,
man.
Lord Jesus. Now you with Freddie. Now it's like, now you
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, organic story, man. So I just got to Houston. I probably have been to Houston 7 months. I was single at the time, you know, so I'm just living, being myself. And COVID had just hit, but I had just went to Arizona, and one of my boys was like, "Hey man, you gotta check out this app, you know." And I'm like, "Nah, I'll check it out." Like, what is it? It was called Raya at the time.
Switching platform.
Basically, it's like a dating app, but you know, you have to go through certain like criteria to make sure that you're who you are. So literally, have been on the app for a couple of days, man, and it's like she pops up, and I'm like, let me see what this is. Gymnastics. I ain't never, you know, I never really paid attention to gymnastics, so it piqued my curiosity, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'll see what's up. I swiped it, and it said we matched. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna see what's up. So I go do my workout, and I come back, and I had some likes on my Instagram, you know, and I'm like, oh, this might be. I'm like, okay. So I see what's up, and then I still wait. I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait till I, you know, take a shower and everything. Then I come back to my phone, and then she messages me on the app, like, hey, you know what I mean? Man, this gotta be fake. Like, I don't know. I didn't know who she was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she gotta be good. I promise you, I'm a real life story. When she won the Olympics, I was in college, and we didn't have NBC, we didn't have Olympic channels, and we're in camp. Late July, early August. So I'm not paying attention to, you know. So I never would have had a moment to where I would have watched, like, you know. Chad, I'm gonna let you finish your story, man. Continue.
Simone Biles is 26 years old, and I hope that clarifies everything that anybody needs to know about this whole situation. Before I found out 2 seconds ago that she was 26 years old, when I watched that interview, or the bits of the interview that I could stomach, I immediately thought of a guy that I dated when I was 28 years old. And I also then thought that it was okay behavior and totally normal and cool and funny, and like it was fine when he was mean to me. That guy was also a failed football player. I don't know this guy, her husband, whatever his name is. I don't think anybody knows his name. I don't think anyone ever will. Not that he's a failed football player, but I'm pretty sure I read today, and by read I mean I saw on TikTok, that he like didn't get drafted and then like almost never even got a job with the football team. So anyway, the guy that I was with played football in college and did not ever get drafted and became a lawyer instead, but still a chip on his shoulder. And when we broke up, a mutual friend told me, hey, like, I didn't want to say anything, but I knew that you guys were never going to make it 2 years ago when I congratulated him on dating you. And he immediately said, how the fuck do you know that she's not a pain in my ass? How do you know she's not crazy? And he talked to me that way too. He was like malignant in his misogyny. He thought that all women were crazy. All women were mentally ill, like legitimately. Women are not funny, and all women are pains in the ass. Regarding the women not being funny, his idol was Howard Stern, and television 24/7. He thought that man could do no wrong and say no wrong. And one time, he had a female guest, and he laughed at something she said, and he got so angry he turned the television off. And then he talked about it for like 30 minutes straight about how Howard's just selling out. There was nothing funny about what she said. And then he went on to make fun of what the girl said, and then make fun of how Howard laughed at it, because there's no way he really thought it was funny. That's how much he hates women. And I say hates present tense because I doubt that's changed. But anyway, that guy talked to me that way too. Like he made me have to prove constantly.
Now I'm gonna say it again, and after I say it, the first thing that pops into your mind that rhymes, you end the rap. Trust yourself.
Okay.
You're a pro.
Yes.
One.
And I don't want to hear nobody else correcting how I'm pronouncing and saying certain things.
Curious when they meet a woman who's not desperate.
Guys, I do not know how to say this enough, but please go watch that girl's video. And after you watch that video, you will understand how you need to date. You'll understand how you need to show up. You'll understand how you need to not audition for men. I think that's the word. She is telling us how to date without auditioning for men and letting men audition for us.
Curious when they meet a woman who's not desperate.
Guys, I do not know how to say this enough, but please go watch that girl's video. And after you watch that video, you will understand how you need to date. You'll understand how you need to show up. You'll understand how you need to not audition for men. I think that's the word. She is telling us how to date without auditioning for men.